So I'm going to carry on from the same point I have stopped with, which is the simple sentence. So I was saying that the simple sentence is a sentence that only have one or only has one subject and one verb. Only one subject and only one verb. Okay, so it doesn't have more than one subject or more than one verb. Okay, it can have for example a complete subject plus a complete predicate, one, a simple subject plus a simple predicate, one. Okay, but you have to have one subject and one verb, which is too easy. Okay, the simple sentence. Now let's move on to the compound sentence. Okay, the compound sentence formula is more than one. You have to pay attention. It's more than one with one condition. Okay, it means that I'm going to have more than one subject and more than one verb. Maybe two subjects, three subjects, four subjects, maybe two verbs, three verbs, four verbs, 100 million verbs, which is not possible. You see. So let's talk about the two twos. Okay. Here, the first one, the simple sentence, it has one subject and one verb. The compound sentence has at least two subjects and two verbs. So it's made up of two simple sentences. Okay. And we have explained that. It has two or more simple sentences joined by a comma and a coordinating conjunction. Pay attention. It's not a subordinating conjunction. Okay? The compound sentence has one of the 7 fun boys we have talked about. And I have explained the fun boys. I have said the fun boys are for, F, and A, N, nor, B, but, or, O, yet, Y, and S, so. So if you're going to have two sentences linked by one of the fun boys, for and nor, but, or, yet, and so, it's going to be a compound sentence. For example, Candy rots my teeth. Candy is the subject, rots my teeth is the complete predicate. So I have one subject and one predicate. Comma, but, oh, stop teacher. I have but here, one of the fun boys. So I'm like 99% it's going to be a compound sentence. Let's carry on. Let's look for the other subject and the other verb. But still I, subject, like it. Here I have another verb which is like. So I have two subjects, two verbs linked by a comma and one of the fun boys. Very good, that's the formula. It's a compound sentence. Number 2, for example, I went to the park, comma, and I met my friend there. I have to have two subjects, even though it's the same subject, but I do have two subjects. I, the first one, I went. So I is the subject. Went is the verb to the part of the complete predicate, comma, and one of the fun boys. I met my friend there. I is a subject. Met, of course, it's the simple past of to meet. It's an irregular past. So met my friend there. So I have a subject and a verb or a complete predicate. So I have two subjects and two verbs. That's the formula, plus a comma and an end. Okay, one of the fun boys. So it's what? It's a compound sentence. That's the compound sentence. Now let's move on to the complex sentence. Okay, in the compound sentence we have one of the fun boys, which we call the coordinating conjunctions. In the complex sentence we have an independent clause that can that has a meaning by itself, and we have a dependent clause which doesn't have a meaning by itself. It should be linked to the independent clause, and in the middle I'm going to have a comma and a subordinating conjunction. When, after, before, although, since, as soon as, unless, if, though, because. You see, it's too easy to differentiate between a complex sentence and a compound sentence. Okay? In the compound sentence, each sentence, the two sentences in the compound sentence, each sentence can stand by itself. However, in the complex sentence, one sentence can stand by itself, the other one cannot. It's a slave clause. It's a dependent clause which we cannot understand unless we link it to the independent clause. We have an example here which is so good. We will solve the exercise. Okay, I have a subject, I have a verb. Okay, in the future, we is a subject, will solve is a verb in the future. Okay, we have will. The exercise, So we have a subject and a complete predicate, a complete subject and a complete predicate. Cool, beautiful. I can understand the sentence. It's an independent clause. It's a free clause. However, let's move on to the second part, which is after we finish the lesson. We have subject. We have finished the lesson, complete predicate. But after we finish the lesson, yes, what are you going to do after you finish the lesson? What happened before you finish the lesson? I cannot understand that. Link it to something else. Oh, link it to something else to be understood. So it's a dependent clause which depends on an independent clause to be understood. You see, after we finish the lesson, we will solve the exercise. After we finish the lesson, I can omit it even. Okay, the dependent clause, I can omit it, and the sentence, the complex sentence, it's gonna be all right. It's going to stand by itself, and everything is going to be all right. You see, so we will solve the exercise. Is an independent clause. After we finish the lesson, is a dependent clause. A complex sentence formula, just like in math, is independent plus a subordinating conjunction, of course a command, a subordinating conjunction, plus a dependent clause. I think it's too easy. So let's move on now to revise the common and proper and collective nouns, which is so important too, because I feel that people, they understood the common nouns and the proper nouns, but they did not understand, in a way or another, they did not understand the collective words. Let's talk about the common nouns. Common nouns are any person, any place, anything, any idea, something which is in general, my boys. Okay? For example, when I say city, I did not specify which city you are talking about. Okay? So city, the word city itself, it's not capitalized, okay, because the common nouns are not capitalized, and it's not specifying any city. You see, policeman, you are talking about any policeman. It's in general. You are not specifying. Newspaper, you are talking about any newspaper, Teacher Malik. Specify, please, okay? Be specific, you see, if you want to talk about a proper noun, okay? So here we have city is a common noun. However, New York is a proper noun and should be capitalized. Policeman is a common noun, of course. However, Jack, when I say Jack the patrolman, or Jack the sheriff, or Jack the policeman, okay, it should be capitalized. Newspaper, in general. But when I say Uqad newspaper, which is a famous newspaper here in Saudi Arabia, you should capitalize it. Okay, so to finish with this, I'm going to move on to a third video. Please follow up with teacher because I don't have enough time. Thank you so much.